Fine. Guys, good morning. So today the session is like, we have to see, and the thing is that we have already visited the site for certain studies and everything. So what happened is that definitely the possibilities are opened up, right? What are the kind of design and everything that we can do? Is the screen visible properly for everyone? Okay, my voice is clear? Correct? Good. So today I'm going to demonstrate how the ideas, like, it shouldn't be like a kind of, I would say, directly into the plan that you should think about of any design or the drawings. You should think about the ideas. Like when I talk about the ideas in the sense like, it's about the experience that we have to feel about the space. So when you remember if in that case study, the plot 24, so there was a natural jacuzzi they made, I would say, with natural materials. And there are even jet wash in it. Okay? So the kind of experience that they would have thought about, instead having a plan before will be, maybe the person would be the architect would have thought about like, I really wanted to have a jacuzzi with pressure, but I really wanted to feel it's a natural pool with rocks and everything, right? So how that feeling would have come there, correct? So that is the first initial thought it has gone into. Then later on they thought about the materials. Then later they thought about, the kind of the placement, the kind of selection of the stones and everything. Then into the which brand of pipes, the plumbing details and everything they would have thought of. Correct? So never ever go into the planning first. We have to think about the experience first. That the particular person, if whoever, okay, so they had this idea on renting the property also for themselves. Okay, so if the property has to be rented out always, so what is the one of the reason that we actually take certain rented property? What is the reason? Maybe. Okay, did you feel like you wanted to stay in the property? So why one of the reasons? Tell me, what is the feel that, I mean, it will be different for everyone. That's why. Come on, tell me, fast, quick. We don't have much time. Huh? Unique what? So unique is one, the kind of a terminology that everyone uses. Calm, peacefulness, and
feels like we are into
nature. Okay, so there will be again reasons like it doesn't the kind of the long glasses which actually opens up into the landscape, which we don't get to see in an urban scape or something. Correct. So here today's exercise. Those who were absent yesterday, I have given a constraint that for the same 20 by 40, we are going to have 3 walls outside. So first I'll show you one of the examples again, which we actually discussed yesterday. So this is one of the project. I think we have already seen this. So this project, not this. This is the residence which comes along again a kind of a narrow site, but it's a huge one, 4,500 square feet. And what you see in this particular image is the front elevation, or what we can call it as the front facade. Facade is the correct terminology. Then elevation is used for drawings. Okay, is that clear? Yeah, and this is one of the walls on the boundary itself, and they have used that as a possibility to do the house completely, so that this part is abutted. So that is the terminology it uses, ABUTT. Okay, so this is very common in Bangalore city, where we actually build along the boundary line. Yes, even in any metropolitan cities, because the space is very less, so the government bylaws allow for that. And in this particular region, this is Calicut in Kerala, and at that particular time the Kerala municipality had a rule that one side of the wall could be abutted only if the neighboring property owner allows it for. Okay, he has to given it in the written statement that we can actually abut this wall here, and he has no objection against that. Okay, only then we can do this. So here, what he has done, that we'll just run through it. You can see the wall. That's why the name wall of being. The complete wall is seen in the interior, also in the exterior, right? So this is that wall. Okay, this is the wall again. Again, you can see this wall. So in the front side, you can see a part which is cantilevered, and this is that area. And still in that cantilevered area, they have given a garden. They have given a garden. Guys, keep away the phones. Everyone. If you are distracted, if you have calls to take, I would say rather not attend this session. Okay? Next thing. So this is one of the courtyard, and I will also explain, and again the kind of the wall you can see over here. And what you can see here again, this is a kind of an urban housing, but still they have incorporated the kind of courtyards and everything, but in a bigger scale than our 20 by 40. Okay, this is the other opposite side where there is a setback provided from the other side. Courtyard, the view of the wall from the bedroom, and that is the wall here. Okay, from the side. Again, you can see that wall here. And what do you see as a particular design about the wall? What you can see is it's not a plain wall, isn't it? Can you see certain kind of projections on the wall? Kind of stripes. One line is coming out, it is projected, and one is inside, right? So imagine if it was a plain wall. What do you think? Would it have this rustic effect? It will be different. It will have definitely, but when it came up with that idea of the lines, right, it gave more definition to that wall, right? And what you can see here is a white component also. Yes, here, it's like a brick wall. Actually, that are the columns, concrete columns. They cladded it with a brick, so that what happened is, and they painted it with a white color, so it got enhanced, and the concrete is as concrete itself. They just applied only a polish, maybe a clear coating or something like that. Okay. Again, on the first floor, what you can see here, the terrace, outside view. Okay, this is the floor plan. And what you can see is this is the wall. You can see that? And if you closely observe, they have placed the columns wherever the walls are ending. Correct? You can see that here, 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 each and every node, so that the columns doesn't become odd. Correct? So they have placed the columns in such a way that it will look good when it comes to the interiors. Okay? Even for the first floor, what you can see here, from the entry door, it's a huge pathway, a long, narrow pathway, or maybe a kind of a corridor. And this side is completely a kind of, we can call it as a public zone, yeah, where the visitors can access all this till this courtyard area. And from this area onwards, maybe the bottom area, we can say it as bottom area or something, it comes with bedroom. Maybe this could be the visitors or guest bedroom, okay? And there is a family living separately, and the kitchen, okay? So all this area becomes again a certain kind of private area for the family itself, and these are accessible by the visitors, okay? The same goes here. They can actually see one bedroom here, there is one bedroom here, there is a terrace and some little bit of utility area, and another living room in the top, and a good terrace garden here. Okay, this side, which is a cantilevered part or something. But in the both, you can see a axis, a design axis at the center. You see that? Did you see that in the 3D? This is the axis. Okay, so they divided the spaces with this circulation axis first. So the right hand side, what you see here is mostly, we can call it as the visitors can access the places. And on the left hand side, it's mostly the family area. Okay. And this is a section, how it should look like. And this is the kind of the wall that you can see in the stripes. And you can see first the sit out, then the living room, then there is a courtyard, a dining area, and there is a fish pond or koi pond, what we can say it as. And towards top, it is open. And about this formal dining is for the guest. Okay, the family dining is for the family. Okay, and this part is completely open to sky. There is no glass and everything. So the complete, I would say, the ventilation is happening, right? This is another one section. You can see the dining, film, family area, the sunset garden. Design access is still there in the first floor and the ground floor. Yeah. And this is how the development happened. So this is the context of the site. Till now, there is no building over this plot, and there is an old house over here. And you can see the wall was kept first, then the block which was divided by the design axis, where one part is decided as I would say the kind of the public space, and the right hand side maybe the private spaces in the initial thought. Okay, so that was the initial thought before even segregating as per the rooms. And when it came into the public space, the spaces are divided into 3 cubes here, and between the cubes they've inserted the courtyard and the koi pond. Koi pond is the fish, that orange color fish that we see. Okay, so when it came into the first floor, what happened? The same thing. There is only 2 cubes. One is that first floor living area and the backside bedroom, and there is a green space in the front, and in between again there is a terrace. Okay, so just keep this in mind. We are not going to do exactly like this, but still we will see how things can be worked out. Okay, so let's say how much is 20 feet in centimeters? 600? And 40 feet? 1000. So this is a Google SketchUp software, and we use this as a base for all the kind of designs, because it is very user friendly. Okay, we can learn this software within 2 days or something. It's very simple. Okay, so it's basically rectangle, cubes, everything that we can make, and there is a what I say is like the tools like push, pull, and everything. I can make it bigger like this, and everything. Okay, so this is our 20 by 40, and now I have converted that into centimeters, so it's easy for us to work. So the first constraint that I've given here is a 3-sided wall. Okay, let me do the road first, maybe a 4-meter road. So I've given 15 centimeters, 6-inch thick concrete wall on all the sides. So we are abutting on 3 sides. Okay. So this is the first constraint I have given. Okay, as a design aspect. So for this tool, particularly for this pencil, you can use L in the keyboard as a shortcut. So it's like you can draw lines anywhere. So I'm going to keep the height for the wall, maybe as of now 6 meters. 6 meters is like almost like 2 floors, let me say maybe 9 meters, 3 floors high. So this is the basic view that we are going to get. Okay, so mostly I'll be drawing a huge plane, so that we will definitely have to have a context. You remember the last slide of that competition sheet, like the house sheet, where I showed the nearby sites and everything. So that is always helpful in deciding upon the design factors. Why? Because only if we know the context, we should do the kind of design. Like yesterday I had a question like what makes a project unique in a particular context. Okay, so that if you are giving something, or maybe we are providing something which is not there in the context, that makes that project stands out, right? Imagine if this particular building in this complete street, it has gone far away, like any building like I would say, what is okay, something like Flintstone, only we made it here. It will definitely stand out here, correct? Right? Exactly. So that should be your idea. Like, if you wanted to make a project unique, try to learn the context first. Accordingly, the context definitely doesn't matter. So imagine if there are 100 Flintstones and we are building again a Flintstone, it doesn't make a difference. Correct? So that's one of the things that you need to learn about design, how to sell the design. Okay? Yeah. So normally when I start doing, I always actually set up scenes. We can actually set up scenes here. I'll tell you what is scenes. So when I'm setting up the scene here, so it's like the views, right? The first itself, I already set the views from the point where the human beings are going to see. Like, particularly when we are doing a 3D and where there are houses here, we can say this is one house, okay, having some characteristics, something like that. Another house here. Okay, and behind also there are houses. And again, and we actually thought of having a park here. Okay, we just discussed, like, imagine if there is a park here. Maybe let's give it as a green color or something as of now. As of now, let's just, before getting into detail mode. So when I set the scene here, so I can go back to my scene again, like this, okay? But I would need much more better view. So what I'll do is go to this point, wherever, from the road only I can see or maybe from the park side only I can see this building, right? So point of view is very important when you actually start designing, right? So that's how even the photographers do. So in what point, like, imagine if, when a drone shot is different from a normal camera or a DSLR shot, what is the difference? What we get? The drone which will give us a view of a bird, correct? Which the humans cannot. Okay, that's why people like the drone shots, so that it gives a more clarity on it. Correct. The same way, before you design or maybe start designing the 3D or elevation or anything, you need to see from what point the people are going to see. Is that understood? So imagine if this is going to be a L corner building. This building is not there. Instead, this road is going this side. So that we will definitely we are not going to have this wall here. Correct? Yes? You're getting the idea? Right? So in the same way, I'm going to set up my scenes like this also. Like, this is one view of my building where the people might see, correct? This will be one of the buildings. Add it as another view. And also from this side. Yeah. And if it's required, like, for us to understand or something like that, if at all we are going for a good documentation and everything, when we are actually, after finishing the project, came out really well, okay? And then what happened is we thought of documenting it and publishing it in some other media, and we use a drone shot and we see only the water tanks above. It's an ugly thing, right? So we need to also work out this view also, right? So in that way, we are deciding upon what all areas I have to make my building aesthetically beautiful, that we are setting it up first. Is that clear? Fine. So now we have this constraints, 1 bedroom unit, and as of now I'm going to see whether what all things I can do. like from here to here I have got 1185, and I'll try to leave 300, 300. So 10 feet I'm trying to leave. Okay, maybe a kind of a grid or something, and then next I'll put it up like this. So I have already thought about placing the bedroom little above, because that should be mostly a private space, and I believe, and mostly I am seeing first as me being the user first. Okay, when I design it, everyone will be doing that only, like what I really wanted in that site, if I am going to live inside that. Okay, later the second stage we will again think about what the user will think about. So let's see how that process goes in. Okay, I would say some 300 maybe in the first floor, or maybe I would take it as again 300, so that I'll have a massing like this. So I'm going to place my bedroom at that height or something. Okay, so that I'll have, when I enter this particular house, I'll have a huge, height. It gives me an idea of, like, okay, this space is really really cool, right? Something like that. And let's see how we can work it out. And I wanted some, maybe a kind of a landscape or something. Okay, let me see if I wanted to place in a living area somewhere here. So I'm going to place it as a massing itself. Okay, trying to place this living, and maybe this side completely I'm going to give it as a kitchen, this back side. Okay, so what we have right now is, if I'm going to enter here, I have a living here, I can have little bit of landscape here, correct? So next thing what I am trying to see, okay, see, still I haven't finalized the kind of measurements, but due to I have given a grid, 3 meter, 3 meter, 3 meter grid, okay, so that it's easy for me to, kind of have a basic idea on the measurements. So what I'll do is, I am thinking to have a courtyard here, which could be also a kitchen yard. Okay, so I'll just place it as of now, maybe a green space here. Yeah, so still I haven't decided upon what where is my kind of staircase going to be. Okay, still there are a lot of things that I have to figure it out, and still the kind of massing is still looking it like something like this. Okay, still it is like this. It's only designed so that you don't have to think much about the kind of the context which happens in Bangalore. Do not think about the vastu. Do not think about the people are thinking now. We are dealing with only with design. Okay, just purely design. Next thing, what do you think? I think we need to place the gate, the entrance gate. So let's say, because I wanted, okay, there is a human being here. I don't want anyone to see inside at their head level. From after that only I need any kind of openings. Okay, so maybe 163 I will take a 6 feet height kind of a door, or maybe a gate. Okay, this could be the gate massing. We can call it as massing, or everything lines. Okay, and let me see if I can.
Today we're gonna start.
There is something called 3D warehouse, where we can actually get a lot of models. This is the kind of a library that we get for SketchUp, or even even for 3ds Max and everything, we can use it. You can note down each and every point that if you might. So when you note down, okay, fine. Then if you have any doubt more, you can refer to the video again. So that's the best way of learning. Internet is very, very slow. Okay. when it comes. Let's see. So this will be the kind of masking that I'm going to get, and let's say I'll give certain materials for the wall. I'll give some concrete texture. Okay, is that clear? And now what I'm thinking is that in this part, maybe, okay, this, how much am I going to get? It's 2.85 centimeters. No, sorry, 2.85 meters. How much do you think this is enough for a car to get in? One single car? Yeah? So how much do you think we can have here? And okay, so we will definitely require a space how to go forward with the other spaces, right? So let's do one thing. 1 second. So this is a function in SketchUp where we can, we do a lot of grouping. We can just see only that particular group that we are working on, okay? So it's called hide rest of the model. So I would keep a 1 meter reduced. I am thinking to give a staircase here, okay? So let's say how much this is coming up here. Let's say someone has some 90 centimeter landing. The landing should come somewhere. What is the riser for staircase? 150. So I've given 15 centimeter, the same thing only. Centimeters. So that's going to be my staircase. And it's going to be cantilevered like this only. It's going to be exactly like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a structural detail inside so that I can make this staircase cantilevered. So 1 second, before that I will have to make this a component. And so mostly, what happens here is we will have to reduce the load because it's almost like 1 meter it's getting cantilevered, right? So I will have to reduce this, make it feel little better. Something like this. And something like this. So this will be the kind of staircase I'll be getting. Okay? So this looks more stable, right? Structurally also. Correct? So when you hold a long stick with your hand, okay, maybe a 1 meter or maybe 3 meter long stick, you feel it's very heavy, right? When you keep it in the end. So imagine if it's getting thinner towards the end, like the fishing, what do you call it? The fishing rope. No, not the rope, the stick. What do you call it? I forgot the name exactly. So it actually gets smaller and smaller. Even the selfie stick, it gets smaller and smaller because it's easy to handle, right? The same principle I have used here. Okay. So we have reached here. Now let's say what are the kind of spaces what are the possibilities that we have now? I can have again a kind of a landscape here, definitely, right? A green space. So I have a green space here, and I have a living room here, living space, and I'm thinking so that I always like to have my vehicles, which is also a part of my interiors also. Okay, so something like that. So let's see if still this thing is working. Let's say tree. So we get 2D trees, also 3D trees. You will understand what is it when I show you this. These are 2D trees, and the sizes are going to be very less. And let's say, okay, this is good. Let's see, and also we even get most of all the car models in this. Let's wait for it to load it. Anyways, so let's say what kind of gate mechanism we can have here. What do you think? What are the possibilities that we can have? Yeah? Tell me. Let's have the ideas be wild. The thing is, because we need to design this the best, right? So what do you think? And also functionally the best, right? So what do you think? Can we have a sliding gate here? Where do you slide out towards other property or something? Huh? Folding. Okay, which is more comfortable? Do you think the folding is very comfortable every time? Every time for a daily usage. If it's an office, yes, but for a house, when you keep folding, it takes a lot of pressure, and it can be very frustrating. Okay. So what are the ideas that we can pitch him? So I cannot do this for sure, right? If at all I'm going for, and what are the other things, like folding, we don't have to think about it. Half sliding where?
Another amount will go
Getting slide
inside the building.
Inside the building, see, there are options called rolling. Rolling is there. It will go inside this, towards this side, or this side we can take it. Okay, where it won't be straight gate. It will be, there will be a lot of. I think there are options here. Let's explore that. Sliding gate that slides inside. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see if it. Huh? Yeah, something like this. Correct? It folds and goes inside. But to be honest, what happens is there are a lot of hinges in between, and also it requires, I think, nearly somewhere near 1 feet. Here, 1 feet is costing us a lot. Correct. In this situation. So what are other kind of means you can think about? Tell me. What is something else that we can actually think about? Huh? Rolling shutter. Rolling shutters, that is possible, but rolling shutters are again a little ugly, right? So what we can do is, what I thought about is, we can have something, the same mechanism of rolling shutter itself. We can lift this gate up like a curtain. This way, this kind of mechanism we can actually use it. Okay? So that will be the kind of thing, and we will require only a pulley system which is automated or something, or even manual also it can work. Okay? So that is one thing. But still, that is not the final solution, because we also need a pedestrian entry. Correct? So that is going to also a problem. So let's say, if at all, I'm going to have a gate, and let's say it's going to be 7 feet, let's say 210 height, and we'll have a frame inside this. 90 centimeter gate is enough. Where do you suggest, this side or this side is the gate is the best? That side, right? Yeah, that is. So these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Okay, so every time when you place something, okay, even if we are going to have this rolling shutter, I've already thought about that, is it necessary? But I felt this is the best solution design wise, and functionally it can help us save a lot. Okay, so let's have a gate here within this gate itself. Is it possible? And where we can have, even if it's closed, we can use it as a door, something like that. Okay, so what I will do is, I'll make sure that particular area is little bit defined so that people can understand that which is a pedestrian gate or something. Okay, even if I'm going to give a same color or something, let's say I'm going to give a light red color, or this part will be a little bit of dark color, something like that. Yes, are you getting it? Yeah, that is one thing. So by this time only we have got enough idea, and let's see if our tree is ready. Let's say, yeah, so it's there. Let's take this one also. So we have got a tree here, but this doesn't look good. Let's go for other one. Okay. Something like this as of now. Let's see. Smaller one inside and a bigger one outside, right? So let's keep one beautiful car also inside. So by this time only the massing is almost done, right? You can actually feel the spaces, right? From here we will be actually taking off into a little bit more serious design. Okay. File is bit too much. I think that car is a bit bigger. So in this case it's really tough, right? So I think we will have to adjust the staircase part. Either we can reduce the kind of the height, the riser, we can make it into maybe 16 or 17 centimeter, or let's go for an L-shaped staircase or something. That we will deal with it. Okay. As of now, let's keep it here. Okay. Fine. But here another problem is when you placed the pedestrian gate, right? It will be difficult for the person to get in, right? It will be congested because even if you are going to open the gate like this, it's going to touch the car, right? So either we will have to make this part sliding, or we will have to make this into, on the other side only. What do you think? So that the pedestrian can directly enter and get into the living room first. That is also a possibility. Okay. So let's, as of now, keep it like this because we have been decided upon the final thing. Okay. So now what we have to do is, we have everything, right? As of now, kitchen, bedroom, spaces, and I was also thinking if I get a little bit of balcony. Balcony here, okay, and 5 centimeter, and we'll also have a certain another slab of the first above this. Okay, and do you know what are curtain plans? Huh? Have you heard about or have you seen curtain plans? These kind of plans, which folds. Have you seen this? Yeah. In many of the modern buildings, they are actually using these curtain plans to have a shade, and also kind of a privacy. Okay. It's getting downloaded. Let's get back to the idea. And also, I think if there is a balcony, I would go for a kind of a glass. I'll give a 1 meter high railing. Normally it's 90 centimeters. Since it's coming up to that height, I'll definitely go for a glass railing of 10 mm thick, and I can apply the material. Okay, still it's shaping up, right? I think next thing is that we will have to deal with the staircase. How do we actually reach this bedroom area, right? Definitely we need a landing space. What is a landing space? I'll give a 1.5 meter here, and we will need to connect between this space and this space. Yes, so we have given 3 meter here, correct? We can actually reduce it based on what purpose that we are going to give between this space, right? I think we can go for we can make it as somewhere near 8 feet or something. We can reduce 60 centimeter, correct? So the massing changed. Can you realize the difference in the massing when we actually reduce the height? This one or this one? Huh? This one, right? It gives a humbleness to the building. So that is also a matter where we need to understand certain spaces. Okay, this ceiling height is actually working out for us, correct? Still it is very less. Okay, it may be somewhere in 8 feet only, exactly what we have given over here. Okay, so that is one thing. And we can actually have this space as a study room or something like that. It's completely space, right? And first we will have to reach this point, and we will have to have a staircase. So let's see how we can have a staircase at this point. I think maybe how much is it? This is 7 feet. So let's give 7 feet here. Let's say this could be a spiral staircase that we can give over the space. Even this could even go until the terrace area. Okay, so this could be one of the massing. When we reach here, we have a landing space, and then the staircase starts. Okay, so let's see how to design that particular I would say the spiral staircase or something. So let me divide this first, and let me see if that can be worked out. Okay, we're getting somewhere here 105. So let me see how it can be worked out. So this is actually 7 feet. Okay. Let's see if same kind of staircase also work out. Definitely I'll need some space here, right? For the landing above the space. 1 meter. But still, I can't have all these things. Something like this. Okay, as of now just keep it. Okay, still we have options because design is a never-ending process. As of now we have an idea, something like this. And I was thinking, like, if at all I can place this creepers here. It's taken some time. In meantime, let's explore the part of 3D warehouse. Imagine if you need a model of Taj Mahal. Let's see. It is very slow. So, kind of. It's a huge model. That's why mostly what happens is whatever the models that we get to download, it's very heavy always. Okay. model is getting a little more heavier because of these components. I just wanted to show you this, how this works. Then I will have to take it back because otherwise the speed might get affected. So when you actually really wanted to work with, you take this designing seriously and all this kind of modeling seriously, you will have to definitely go for a high-end laptops, okay? Because since this is my laptop, I use it for business aspects, like only for taking classes and everything. But when it comes to the serious work, this kind of machines are not a good answer for it. It's getting very slow. I might have to take it out. Let's bring back later these things. So first I'll just place it. So what do you think now? It's getting ready, right? It's a modern house in the urban scenario with a lot of greenery, but it's still 20 by 40 cent. Right? Now the thing is that after the massing is done, so this is something called massing of a building. Okay, we haven't even thought about how much is my kitchen cabinet size, the furniture and everything. Still we haven't. I would hide that so that it's easy for me to work. So now, next thing is that I have to have a bridge connecting the staircase. So I think I'll need one more step. Something like this. Yep. Now let's say next things from here onwards we will have to proceed for the interior part of it. Okay? Fine? So do you have any questions till now? Sure? Think about it. We'll take a 10-minute break. Yeah. Do we need? You mean which one? This block? And the other one? Kitchen? You mean from this level to this level? Yeah, we will have it. Okay. Let's say you're telling that we need a space between this, right? That we can have. Or Still, I think I prefer a spiral staircase here because that will help me to go into the terrace also easily. Okay, so let's think about it as of now. How much ever we have reached. Yeah, I think there will be one more massing above, which is the service core. I would say the water tank. Correct. 2 meter. Let's say if we have a massing like this, it's going to be something like this. But don't you think it's kind of affecting our elevation? Is it? Or how do you think we can actually manage it? Is this good or without this? We'll deal with it. Okay, let's take a break for 10 minutes. Internet is not working. This looks nice. Let's see if we can. So this we will have to place somewhere, the place where we are going to have the pedestrian entry or something. So we will have to definitely shift. Okay, I think that will be better. Flip it on. Is it? Okay. And I would prefer having a glass facade mostly everywhere. So I like keeping the spaces something like this so that the door is actually holding up between the glasses. Okay, something like that. And we will have small level difference if it's required. Let's see if it's required. Then give some really good pattern tiles, maybe a Moroccan tiles. Maybe I can choose this. We can add custom materials to this other than which is in the library. have it, and I give the measurement as 30 by 30. Okay, and I apply it here. So from now on, I'm going to have scenes from inside frames also. Okay, so now we are actually dealing with the interiors. So there is something, if it all, since it is a small space, the view will not be accurate. So there is something called camera field of view. We can adjust the field of view. Sometimes we will have to even hide the gate or something in case if we have to get a particular view or something. I'll add another scene. So I would like to see how a living room might look from this side. But I was also thinking, instead of having the glass, it could be mostly a kind of seating that we can give. Let's say how that might look. I'm going to give a huge door here. And let's have seating. Even sometimes I can have this towards the outside. So that people can sit inside also towards the outside. Correct. That's one thing. And also I was thinking, let me add a little bit of a traditional touch. Then it is very slow. So this is almost there. We're almost there. There will be even railings. You can have a steel railing or even glass railing, or anything that is possible. So here also I was thinking, if it all is a kind of a study area or even prayer area or anything, imagine if I'm going to have the same kind of a seating over here. So it also gives us a kind of sense of belonging to the space. We can enjoy the space a lot. where we are trying to have a functional seatings. So this is the basic idea of that particular space. Imagine if I have a kind of a table here. Table, something I chose this dimension, I mean this kind of particular geometry because even we have a staircase which has the same kind of geometry. Okay, still we can still follow the same over here and everywhere, but I'm just showing you what are the possibilities that we can have. Right, now let's have let's see how the kitchen space could be. Delete that part. It's going to be yeah. That could be any, like glass entry or anything. It could be anything. So I'm going to give them only one side counter with every possible things that we can put in inside. How much is the height of this normally? Okay. Anyone else? So the kitchen countertop is done, and it also comes with something else. What is it? Wall cabinets and the loft. Yes, something like this. And now I think maybe still I can go back to my plan and see how things can be worked out, maybe not worked out, and all those things. And let's say, since the staircase of the bedroom is here, where do you think the right position to place the toilet for the bedroom? This side or this side? This right side or left side? Right side. Can you give me a reason? Sorry? But still we have a huge veranda also, right? So what do you think? Both sides, I think, since there is a staircase coming up here, okay, I'm just talking about the constraints. If we are going to take the plumbing pipes, it's going to distract you. We will definitely have to have a part, going to stand out, I would say. Or even still we can have solutions for this. That's not a big thing, definitely. And what else? What else do you think? Okay, maybe on the right hand side we can keep it. Okay, as of now, let's say. That becomes our 50. This becomes our toilet. Again, it became a kind of a massing kind of stuff. Rest of the area becomes the wardrobe and the bedroom area. You can have a huge sliding glass door or something. You can work it out. Yeah, now it is actually shaping up, right? Right, and also, like, you know, if we think we need a bit more privacy or something, we can have maybe the kind of the concerns, right? The kind of the security concerns or something. We can have certain maybe a kind of a grills, okay, or maybe some kind of patterns that we can have it here, okay. That could be anything. It could be any pattern or anything. If you wanted to, if you don't want, it is up to you. Okay, if at all, like, you know, if you think that we need a kind of more height for this particular thing, that also can work out. It depends. Okay, it depends on the context and everything. I think as of now you got the complete idea of the space that we are actually looking into. How we reached from a normal, conventional or normal planning to this kind of planning, right? So what are the possibilities? Do you think this building will have more attraction if at all we are going to build this in this kind of street? But its idea is very simple. So how the idea is converted into, I would say, the design or whatever that we can call it as. We can have more detailing, you know, then this is only I would say only 20 to 25% of the total design. We can still do a lot more design, detailing, I would say. Okay, so this particular design, I want you to try to, you know, mimic it first. You have to do it by yourself. Where everyone is going to do the same design, first stage. Then we will deal with the kind of the construction details. Okay. And then later, I'll give you a chance for, like, you know, to design your own. Then that becomes a great portfolio, right? So in this case, we will deal with it. Now we have only reached still in the design stage only. Detailing is yet to start. Correct. So from here, we need to understand how much columns we require, what are the RCC structures that we need, how many, all those things, right? So let's say how we advance from here is, I want you to imagine the spaces. Again, we are going back to the papers. How we did in the first class, first two classes, right? I want you to imagine the spaces and then let's get into the massing of this kind. Can you imagine stuff now? As of now, still it's a 20 by 40 set. You need to remember that. We made it happen, right? So can you draw the plan of this, at least, of this one, just looking at this? You can use this mouse, center button. Okay, go to scene 6, that will be lighter. And just now you can use the center button to see how everything is. Okay? You can use this. So this is the kind of a view that we get from the kitchen. Let's say, how do we get the view from the study area? See, imagine if there is a park or something, the kind of view that we are going to get. And from the study area, I can actually see my car parked. See the view and everything. I can see whoever is coming. I can see this intermediate space. We might have to redesign this because it's taking up a lot of space. Correct. So that is one thing. I can see the kitchen area. And the most interesting part of this design comes in the view from the bedroom. See the kind of view that we are going to get and the kind of ventilation. See, this is the view that we are going to get from the bedroom. So we imagine the experience first, then into the planning stages, and it will keep changing or maybe improving. Okay, that is a part of it. And there are little more functionality that we have to deal with, like the water coming from, if it is raining, the security concerns, all those things we will have to solve it. So that is another next step of detailing. So how we came up with this kind of idea for the gate. There are simple ideas that may actually help us to solve all these kind of, I would say, the kind of the security details and everything. Okay, there are solutions.